All right. So let's move on to our Spier Chenin Blanc.
Oh, in Afrikaans, we call it.
You got a bit of a feedback there, Cecilia. Well, I see 2 channels on here. Did you like call in for your audio?
I don't know.
Well, one of them's muted, so that shouldn't affect it, should it?
Here, let me see if, well, here, let me see if I mute her. All right, Cecilia, what about if you talk now? Okay, that's not it. Okay, so let's unmute you and then mute that one.
And I guess I see on looking at people's names that for somehow I have a bad name because I just did my first Zoom call a little while ago, and apparently my name's Karen Miller, and I don't know how that came up or how to get rid of it.
Oh, I was kind of wondering about that. It's like
Oh my God.
let's see, Karen.
But I'm here.
Miller.
Karen Miller's here. Yes.
There you go. I'll rename you.
Thank you.
All right. So, as usual, let's go ahead and give this thing a look-see.
Very light.
This one's definitely a lot more on the yellow scale. A little bit pale, but definitely yellow.
No edges, but it is a 2020. And that like the band, you know, that you talk about on the...
Yep, so give it a nice little swirl. Now, and this one, you can definitely see, you know, it kind of formed that little ridge, and it's starting to really pull down. Okay. But the legs, they'll actually come down, you know, I'd say they're medium, which, let's see, probably about 13.5 on the ABV. Oh, wow. 14.
Whoa.
It's a little high octane, especially for a white. All right, so let's give this thing a more of a swirl and give it a sniff. It's got an odd, there's some odd scents coming from this. Oh, what are people getting from this?
The first time I hit it, I got hay. And then the second time I hit it, I got key lime pie drizzled with honey. So I don't know. My nose is insane with this one. It keeps changing.
I think it's that hay that I wasn't able to place. No,
We have
no.
a dish called baborti. It's very flavorful. Kind of like mincemeat.
Uh-huh.
With, it's got clove and allspice and
Bay leaves.
Raisins and bay leaves. Oh my gosh, it is so good with this.
So Sarah and I take on the challenge of finding traditional cuisine from the region. And so this is a South African dish that she found. And it's...
Well, Rob found.
Oh, Rob found, sorry. Rob found Sarah May. It's really, really
You can hit
good
me
with
in the
this
head.
wine because of all the spices that are in it.
Mm-hmm.
What was
And
this
Oh.
called?
kind of sweet.
That's what it is. To me, I swear I'm smelling pickles.
I don't see.
So almost like
I mean,
like
dill
a
pickles.
weird dill.
I'll go with you with dill. Dill pickle.
Yeah,
Dill
Australia.
pickle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad I couldn't get this one.
It's weird.
Weird. I don't think it's weird at all. I like it.
All
No,
right.
the smell, not the taste. I haven't tasted it.
It's salty.
All right.
Salty,
Well,
is it a white wine thing, or is that
cheers.
all- Oh, they're just not tasty.
Mm.
Oh, you know what? We have a different wine than they do too. So whatever.
Oh my gosh, the olives make it so different. So weird how that works.
Well, like that wine is not good.
Just give me it.
But I think, yeah, so I think someday I'm just gonna $50 for dinner. Nice white wine to go with.
Yeah. That's definitely a
An olive bar and just
that's
get
definitely an
it.
odd one.
I don't have all the wine.
Well, okay, so where we
So
got
legal?
these,
Whole Foods?
Whole
They have
Foods, they
olive
had
bars,
them,
but
but you had to be prepackaged.
Well, yeah, but still. If four
So
of
what's
us-
everyone else tasting on this?
Those greeny things you talk about. The what's the green things?
I go
Chloro-
and it has
chlorophyll
Green
thing.
things.
What is it you talk about? The bell peppery?
Yeah.
Still have everything.
Oh, that's what it is. So it's not dill. I think capers.
mahi mahi.
Oh, okay.
Thinking capers, but I still get the dill. Maybe because it's stuck in my brain now. When I smell it.
So
But taste-wise, no, taste-wise, I get it.
Yeah, there's definitely more pear than the stone fruit that I was smelling.
I think that until the end.
What, pear?
Yeah, I think it at first, and then as it goes through.
Yep.
Then no. Like the first second, I think pear, and then after that, I'm like something's spicy in here.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing with wine is that it's not just one thing that you're tasting, or even like one stage. There's usually 3 stages. It's that start, when it first hits your tongue. There's that kind of like mid area, and then there's the finish. And each of them might have a whole different flavor and taste to it.
I do.
What are you tasting on this, Karen?
I'm going for the green.
Well, have you
Green pepper. Sorry.
where you can choose to do casual dining where you just go and help yourself, or full serve.
All right, Team Foodie, what are you pairing with this thing?
Oh,
The board tea is pretty good.
tea, yeah.
The babarti is pretty good. And olives.
Except for we also had to substitute a wine. For the,
The
right?
right is a different one.
They were using the Indaba Chenin Blanc.
Which turned out pretty good. We all approved it.
Yes.
Was
True.
it also? I'm hoping that one's also a South African.
Yeah, it is.
Oh
Okay.
no, Californian. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
It says like
It's a Missouri wine.
it
Now,
says
if
it's 8 rather than one of the regions you had. Like it didn't say the stag or whatever.
Oh my gosh, guys, I'm kidding.
Are you able to read this? I don't know if it's something you can see.
I
The wrong way.
Dude.
Hey.
think
dude.
so.
I'm wanting to read the
Oh.
description of where it's from,
Oh.
not the name.
I mean, I can cheat real quick.
Okay, just cheat with this then.
Okay, so what's the name on it?
Indaba.
Indaba Chenin Blanc.
ENDA.
I-N.
DABA.
In Daba. Let's see where it's from. Okay, so yeah, so it's actually from a whole different area. It's from the Western Cape.
Yes.
I mean, you know, which is so it's further to the coast
And it's more
compared to the Spier or Spier that we have, which is again from that Stellenbosch, which is a little bit farther east and inland.
Mexico. Dominican Republic.
Mexico.
It's great with the chicken. What I have to say.
That was about it. But it went on for like 5 minutes of just a lot of.
Expecting to hear something new.
It's okay though, because we're.
Yeah, and this, because I mean, you know, I had the grilled zucchini for, you know, kind of for both of the whites, and comparatively to the Kim Crawford, this really kind of mellows out, and you actually get a little bit more. Actually, the dill really comes out of it with this.
Do we have a dill or anything over here? I have pickles. Do you guys want a pickle?
I happen to love dill pickle, so that's a win for me.
True story.
So I'm definitely not getting any over pickle.
Yeah, I'm not getting any dill.
It's very citrusy and fruity.
Right.
Yeah.
This is a nice wine. I like it.
I'll finish off this one.
Yeah, and these aren't like the only kinds of wines that are, you know, from these areas. These are what I try to focus on are, you know, the ones that are the kind of like the most popular, that you're likely to find, you know, whether it's in a, sometimes in a grocery store, otherwise, you know, in most wine stores. You know, when we start getting into, hey, you know, yeah, there's also, say, like a Cabernet Sauvignon that you can find from New Zealand. You know, it's going to have some interesting flavors to it, but you know, that is not something that you're going to find everywhere. So I try to, at least in these tastings, is kind of focus in on, you know, what's the, you know, what's going to come out of that region most often.
So you're looking at particular regions, not particular countries? Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, sometimes it's regions, sometimes it's countries. Like, you know, like today it's been, you know, New Zealand and South Africa, but like, you know, just before this we did we've done Sonoma, you know, like just one region of California, and yeah, like at the end of this I'll announce what, you know, I'm thinking our next it'll actually be a region. But I'll leave that surprise until the end.